have tried to be rich since I was 12. This is my story and what I have learned. I was born in Ukraine in 1993. And when I was 3, we moved to Israel. Then, when I was 12, we moved to Toronto. Coming from Ukraine, my parents put me into math, science, and even programming classes before I was 10. I was a pretty smart kid. And I was also really into sports, especially swimming and later, lifting weights. When I moved to Toronto, I went to a private school that was paid for in part by others. Being around so much wealth made me feel weird. I also felt weird about not living the same way as the other kids. So, I decided I wanted to make a ton of money. I tried a bunch of different things to make money, like affiliate marketing and making websites. That was in 2006. I had the skills, but I didn't know where to use them best. Like, getting good at SEO would have been a great idea back then. I've worked on lots of projects and ideas. Some worked and some didn't. I made some money here and there, but nothing too big. When I turned 16, I got a strange offer to throw a nightclub party for a club that had lost their liquor license. I thought, why not? And gave it a shot. I got 100 kids to make events on Facebook and invite all their friends. And I was able to get 2,000 plus people coming to nightclubs. I was making good money, but I was young and not very careful with it, because I was so busy with promoting and spamming out flyers. I didn't finish high school and hardly ever went to school. But after some time, things changed, and what I was doing just wasn't working anymore. My parents were upset about me not doing anything, so I decided to get a job. I started working for a digital marketing agency doing SEO and web design. How'd I get the job? I showed them a blog I had that ranked #1 for parties in Toronto. And someone recommended me to the CEO. I was 19 at the time, but I still wasn't very careful with money. And on the other hand, I was still really wanting to be very successful. I also had some websites for getting leads for basement renovations and flatbed trucks. I was doing okay, but was not great with money. Then, I decided to quit that job because I realized I could make more money working somewhere else. I got another job and worked there for a year and a half. Then, I started questioning what life was all about, if there was a God, and stuff like that. Long story short, I became religious. I'm Jewish, and quit my job to go to Israel and study in yeshiva. This is a religious school for Jewish people. I studied there for 3 years, and it was a big change for me, but also a big gap in my work experience. I got married, had a baby girl, another kid on the way, and stayed in Israel. I worked a couple of jobs after leaving yeshiva, including one for a big company. I also tried to start 2 startups during this time, but they didn't work out. Now, I'm focusing on starting a marketing and branding company, and also building my personal brand. It's hard work. I'm following the E-Myth model, which means getting clear on my main goal, my strategic objective, and then getting to work. I've been doing this for 4 months, and I've gotten about 100k views plus a decent amount of followers on all social media. But it's tough. I have to get really good at sales and customer service, which means putting my ego aside. Starting a business and a personal brand is really, really hard, even if you know how to run a Facebook campaign or Google Ads. You need money, and you need patience, and you need time. Starting a business is the hardest thing I've ever done. I still want to be extremely rich, but my reasons for wanting to be rich have changed. One thing I've learned is that nobody will invest in your idea or potential. People will invest if they think they can double or triple their money quickly. This is my story, and I wanted to introduce myself and tell you about me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I also want to hear from you if you're going through the same things, or if you have any advice for me. Thank you. This is epitome of LinkedIn posts. Needs emoji arrows, bullet points, and see the link in the comments. Maybe don't base your whole life just to be like a certain group of people, is all I got from this. Can you explain what you mean by that? You're married, got some kids, found your faith. You're doing all right, man. 100%. I really appreciate it. I am extremely grateful. I believe happiness equals being satisfied with what you have. I wrote this post to connect, network, and get advice on moving forward from people that achieved where I want to go.